Hey gamers, Hippie here from HippieDev, and we're back again for another installment of the Deep Rock Galactic guide series, and today we're going to be running the Engineer class. Alright, now for the build, I am going to be running a shotgun build with a breach cutter. That's one of my favorite combos. I do also enjoy the grenade launcher, it has a lot of good builds as well, but for the escort mission we're doing here, I think I'm just going to run the breach cutter. For the shotgun, let's start that off. I like to run Cycle Overload. There are some other good ones. I'm sure lightweight magazines is fine. Magnetic pellet alignment is fine. I've used Stunner before. It's also fine. And even mini shells is actually fine as long as you're able to land headshots. Still useful. You got a lot of ammo. That's what's nice about it. But I personally enjoy the Cycle Overload, so that's what we're going to be using for this video. And to start off, in the first tier, we got rate of fire increase, which gives it a -1 rate of fire. Yeah, 1 rate of fire, so it's much faster. Or I could go with 11 bullets. So I'm going to go with the rate of fire on this, with the Cycle Overload, which gives it significantly faster rate of fire and greater damage, increases the base spread, and you get a longer reload time. So really, I just want to shoot as many as you can. 9 bullets for this is actually a pretty good amount. Any lower is actually kind of rough. 11 could be good, so if you really did not care about this with your Cycle Overload, you could totally do this, because if you see down here, we've got another increase, so you could pull this off if you really wanted to. 11 would be good, I think. So then for the second tier, you've got expanded ammo bags, which gives you 40 shots. That's a lot of shots, people. That's a crazy amount. If you really feel like you need more damage, I guess go with the more pellets. I don't really care about this because I'm really just trying to use this when the shotgun when I'm very close to enemies, so the spread isn't that big of a deal to me. So if you really wanted to, you could take expanded ammo bags or pellets if you want a little bit more damage. For the third tier, we've got recoil dampener. Like I said before, I'm not really worried about the recoil on this. I'm really only trying to kill things that are very close to me. Just putting 1 or 2 shots into them and just moving around a lot. Second option, you got quick fire ejector, a decent one. The reload time on this is kind of long, so that's always an option. But I prefer to take the high capacity magazine, which gets me up to 9 total. For the fourth option, we've got tungsten coated buckshot, which is armor breaking, or you've got bigger pellets. So it gives 1 damage increase, but you can get 500% armor breaking. It's kind of tough to tell what to do, really. I actually think I am going to take damage this time and see how it goes. I imagine this would be much better used against grunt guards, than say Praetorians and such, because you're most likely going to be shooting Praetorians in their butts anyways, so the armor part isn't a big deal there. But for guards, this would actually be very useful. Actually, I am just going to take that, because now that I'm talking about it, I kind of like that idea a little bit better. And for the fifth option here, you've got either Turret Whip, which shoots your turrets to make them create an overloaded shot. I used to run this for a long time, and I don't actually have a problem with it. If you're actually using your turrets and sitting near them, then Turret Whip is actually pretty decent, and is a really decent way for you to, say, kill swarmers or Mactera spawns, because if a well-placed cycle shot will kill an entire swarm if it hits in the middle of them. But for this one, I'm going to run the fully automatic, so I can shoot I just want to shoot real fast in this run. So that's what we're going to do. Next up, we got the breach cutter. I really love this gun. And so what we're going to do is we're going to run the return to cinder option this time. There are actually a lot of very good overclocks of this one. I usually run Spinning Death. A very good one. It's been nerfed, but it's still very good. I believe Inferno is probably a good one. I've never used it personally, but it probably is really good. Return to Cinder is the one I'm going to use. You can shoot it and it goes back and forth, which is really good to burst down, say, Praetorians or oppressors. Then you got lightweight cases, which is just a flat increase on everything, more ammo and faster reload. You got stronger plasma current, which is small damage boost and extended projectile lifetime. These are all very good, and I bet that even high voltage crossover is also probably a good one as well. Electrocution is a really big deal. Having a huge slow that is given whenever something is electrocuted is a big strong thing. Roll control is just it's kind of useless. If you're for some reason in some kind of map that you know beforehand that's going to be a bunch of little tunnels or something like that, you could consider taking this to just, I don't know, do some cool stuff. It's just whatever. Not a big deal. But with that, we're going to do prolonged power generation, so it travels for a longer time. You could do clip size, but I kind of want to shoot it for longer before it comes back so I can kill bigger waves. For the second option, you could go with ammo or damage, or wide. Second tier, you can go any of them. I'm going to go damage because I'm going to mostly be using this to burst Praetorians and bigger things like oppressors, menaces, stuff like that. So I'm going to go with the damage. For the third tier, you've got quick deploy, which allows you to deploy your beams the second they're being shot, which is a huge deal, especially when things get too close to you. You can use the breach cutter as a panic gun and just kill entire waves that get too close to you. That's different than the deep core or the grenade launcher, because that will kill you if you do that. So this is a good option to save yourself. You could also do the reload time, which this gun does reload slowly. I'll say that, but I think the benefit of having quick deploy is just too much to give up. Now on to the fourth tier. You've got armor breaking, which is very, very good. Very good, and you got disruptive frequency tuning, which will give more stuns. So really, it just depends on what you want to do. Armor breaking, as I said earlier, I'm taking this mainly to fight Praetorians, so I think I am going to take the armor breaking part. But now that I say that, having a stun is also a big deal. Having CC to give your team some time is a big, big deal. So I think I'm actually going to keep up with the stun this time. You could easily do this armor breaking, and I think it'd be just as good. Just as good, maybe better, honestly. I don't know. Fifth tier. You got explosive goodbye. The projectile explodes at the end of its life cycle. I've never really used this one. I think I've seen people doing it, and it seems okay. Plasma trail, I've seen people doing this one. It leaves behind a residual trail of plasma that will continuously damage any enemy that gets too close. This is also a pretty decent one. If you can shoot it, if you're using it as more of like an area denial, then plasma trail is pretty decent. I personally like triple split line. It splits into 3 lines, cover a taller area, making it possible to hit multiple targets. This is good for when you're in tunnels. This is good for when you're shooting Praetorians because you can hit them at multiple levels. This is also great for shooting at swarms or even Mactera swarms. That's why I like the triple split line. Alright, pickaxe is just damage. For the turrets, we are going to do 2 turrets. I like to do 2 turrets a lot of the time. Especially on escorts like this. This will help us focus on multiple rocks at the last stage at once, making it a lot easier for us to kill them before they can crush Doretta. That's the big problem. I also think that having 2 up is a good thing because they can shoot the swarmers easier. So 2, if you have just one turret up, they'll be focused on a swarmer maybe or a grunt. But with 2 turrets, they can be focused on 2 swarmers or 2 grunts, which will be better for your team overall, especially if things are low health. These things may not outright kill everything, but they'll make it to where it's much easier for your team to just use 1 bullet on something to kill things instead of, an entire clip, something like that. So that's why I like to run the 2. For the second option, I like to go ammo bags. You could also go the quick deploy. It just really depends on if you're willing to. Without the quick deploy, you have to kind of set up a little bit beforehand, but if you're okay with that, then don't worry about the quick deploy. You could also refill the turret's ammos faster. That's not that big of a deal, but there are some times in the middle of big fights where you really do want to refill that turret's ammo, and you can't do it very easily. So if that's a big problem for you, then I would totally take this. For the third option, you got armor breaking. For me, these aren't really meant to. If I was using a big one and then I was using this Hoxxes system, then maybe I would take armor breaking and I would focus on killing Praetorians with it. But I'm not. I'm mainly throwing these down just to give us a break. They'll focus on things that we can't see. They'll protect us when we can't. When we don't even know that we're being protected. They let you know when swarms are coming if you don't hear them. So that's why I'm mainly just, I don't really care for the armor breaking part. The stun part is okay. I think 20% is kind of low, but the argument could be made that you're shooting one particular thing a lot of times. So if they're shooting a Praetorian, it's more likely that they will be stunned. They're shooting a grunt, maybe not, because they'll kill them and quicker than the stun will go off, by percentage anyways. So that's up to you. If you're going for Praetorian kills or something like that, then maybe do this one. This could work. Especially with 2, because then there's just more chances to proc it, I would imagine. And then you've got expanded ammo capacity, which is the one I take. I don't like to refill them often, so make sure they got 120 ammo in there, and then I can just run around and do my own thing. For the last part, we have Defender System, which is a design variation with greatly increased shot power and a focused scan angle. So this gives plus 5 damage per shot, and it takes down 50. Okay, so it gives you more shots and a different angle of scanning, which I don't think they have a stat for that. But this gives you more range, and they find things a little bit quicker. And then also, if you ping on things, then they'll focus on that thing first. So it's really just whatever you feel like. I'm going to do Defender System this time just because I want them to be able to kill the things that they're shooting at. If they're shooting at rocks and such, then I want them to be able to potentially kill them. So for the platform gun, I like to go ammo. We don't really need to talk about these a lot because it's just like clips and shooting. I just like to take more platforms than you have to take the second one. For the last one, I always like to take enemies will avoid walking on the plasticrete foam. This allows you to shoot platforms on the ground and create little pathways for them to have to travel along, or create choke points, which is a big deal in this game. So I always take repellent additive. For the grenades, I think the NG has some pretty good grenades, but the proximity mine I think is kind of a trap. If you're not pretty decent about setting these up, or your teammates are just idiots, then you're gonna hurt them. You're gonna kill them, and if you're not killing them directly through direct damage, you could potentially kill them through screen shake or all sorts of other things. I'm not a big fan of proximity mines, but if you can combine them with a decent team, then proximity mines are very, very good. Plasma bursters are just regular grenades, essentially. They're all right. I mean, it's not a big deal. I like these. I would maybe use these occasionally if the lure didn't exist. I think the lure is one of the best things in the game. It's on par with the old pheromones for Scout. This, just the ability to distract giant waves of enemies is just huge, especially if you can get multiple teammates. If you're by yourself, then this is almost necessary to keep you alive. But along with you could argue that the proximity mines are as well. But if you're solo, these could actually work. But lures work just as well, I believe. And onto the armor, we're gonna go with the bigger mineral bag, and then we're gonna go overcharger, hazmat system, and then breathing room, which is the temporary vulnerability, like I always do. And then we're gonna go look at some perks this time. I'm gonna go deep pockets because I don't like to go back to nodes, as I've said before. 12% speed boost. I want second wind. I like to run around a lot, and since NG doesn't have a lot of great options to deal with, now that I think about that, it changes to area. So since NG doesn't have a good option to deal with shockers or swarmers very easily without using breach cutters, for example, thorns I think is a necessity. I've seen some people on Reddit argue that it's not very good anymore. I still kind of disagree with that. It was nerfed, but it's not a heavy nerf. It still will kill the swarmers. Maybe not all of them at once like it used to, but this will save you in more situations. And many of the passive perks are just not that great. They're very situational at best, or just outright memey, like strong arm and it's a bug thing. Just whatever kind of perks. And as per the usual, I take Iron Will along with Dash. In the place, I think Iron Will is a must. Even if you don't die, and you should never plan on dying, even if you do not die, the fact that you have Iron Will is a game changer. If you're playing solo, maybe not as big of a deal, because I think you can make Bosco give you like 4 revives or something like that. But even then, Iron Will would be fine to give you a 5th life if you're trying to solo an elite deep dive or something like that. This would be really good. So I think that Iron Will is just non-negotiable for me, honestly. With Dash, however, Dash you could take off. If you don't think you're taking advantage of this enough, then I would consider getting Field Medic or Beastmaster. I've seen a bunch of people use Beastmaster to good effect. A distraction is a lot of how this game works, and a lot how any of these horde-based games work. So a Steve that distracts anything or any groups of enemies and kills them by itself is a big deal. And then Field Medic combined with, say, a gunner or a scout or your lures makes you, a great last ditch savior with this ability. And then just getting regularly 30% increase makes it very good. So I think if you're going to choose anything, these 4 are the best, with the other ones coming in very situationally. Heightened senses you'd really only want to use in cave leech areas, or if you really, really are just scared of this, then I guess I would never use this. See You in Hell, I would only use this on builds that you're trying to use melee damage, which would essentially mean only the melee driller should use stuff like this. Hover Boots is I know some people like this. I think it's fine. If you can remember to use this, then this is a lifesaver. I think one of the big things, though, is with the NG, you should be shooting your platform gum on the ground to try to save yourself before you use these. But I've failed that enough times that maybe Hover Boots would have been fine. I don't know. Up to you. I still wouldn't replace Iron Will with it, though. Shield Link is okay. Effectively using the active is kind of rough. I've never seen anybody use it like when you're in a horde or anything like that. I've never seen anybody use it. Usually people are too scared or freaking out, or you're just chilling, killing bugs, and you just don't really want to think about doing this. A lot of people don't use it effectively, but 300% for 30 seconds would be good on, say, scavenge missions or something like that, where you're defending a fixed point would be decent, I guess. Berserker is also another, you'd really only want to do this with some kind of melee build. But this is kind of different than the See You in Hell, because you could also just use your pickaxe regularly for this. So if you like to use this, I've noticed I accidentally activate. All right, now that my long-winded speech is over, I'm going to go grab the beer, and then we are going to get into the game. So I'll see you guys in there. Alright guys, we're back into the game.
In order to extract it, we're sending in an autonomous drill dozer to support you. The drill dozer will automatically home in on the hardstone, so your job will be to escort it and keep it running. Good luck, miners.
Alright, I was going to let him talk. And now that we are in the game, you'll probably have noticed that it's a different escort mission. I waited because my speech took so long that thought I'd just see if the next escort mission was better, and it totally was. So this time we get Gold Rush and Regenerative Bugs instead of a 2 fill-up escort mission with, I think it was some other bullshit. I don't even know, but it sucked. I didn't really want to do it. Parasites. It was parasites. That sounded really not fun. I'm already like not that happy about doing escort missions so often for my freaking promotionals, but that's what you got to deal with, I guess. When you're the best, when you're at the top. But not really, because there's people that are like way higher level than me. Like all red freaking borders on all their characters and stuff. But, you know, as a Steam achievement, say, I'm in the 1% or something like that, you know, for once in my life. So, you know, you should think I'm pretty cool. Ooh, there's a thingy. So, I think we have enough nitra to just go. So in escort missions, I like to wait for the drill to go a little bit, get into the wall a little bit, because you're usually going to get a swarm almost immediately once you're in. So I like to get it about now, get one that faces towards me. Actually, I'm going to get both of them that face towards us, like this, because they're all going to be here. I'm gonna throw a lure down. I'm gonna jump in my teammate's way. And I'm gonna return to sender, haha, and kill them all. Oh my god, this is bad. Gotta shoot those first if they show up. Gunner and NG combo is actually one of the best for escorts, so we should be okay for some time. Realistically, we could go all the way to the end with this combo and probably succeed. Very good. You want to use the Gunner's shield a lot to block off areas like that, just at the last second. Doesn't even have to really be for your sake. It could just be to mess with their pathing. If you play like Call of Duty Zombies and stuff like that, then this is very similar. It's not good. Let's get our bro up. The lure, you know, keep you safe. So you can get your friends up, which is a big deal. Gotta reset our... Oh no, that's not good. Okay. Oh, I thought I was dead there for sure. Going to try and find... Oh, we're probably going to have to resupply here, so that's good. Nice shot. So, as per the usual for escorts, I like to throw one of these down the second you get stopped. And we need to clear the swarm that's following us. Oh boy. We let that one get a little close, I think. Bastards. So I heard some bugs, so I need to find a good position to set up my turrets. With return to sender, you can just get up next to a Praetorian when it's doing that, and then just click and release your firing button very quickly, and you'll just hit it with like the full brunt of the back and forth, kind of killing it instantly. There's no real good places to set up 2 turrets, so what I'm going to do is make a tiny little pancake. Even this is like kind of terrible. Whatever. Ideally, you want to be a little further away and a little higher up, both being able to see both sides of the Doretta. So maybe I should have put that one down over here so it could see everything. But that's for next time. We're all learning here. As you can see, the NG is my lowest rated class, so I'm a big scrub on this one. But I do know how to play it a little bit. So for just anybody that doesn't know how to play it, then this is just a decent little gameplay guide for you. Hope you enjoy. So far this is not a crazy one. We're not really accomplishing a lot either because we're trying to get too many materials. There was nitro in that room back there we should probably get. Maybe later though. Yep, big time, big fight time. Oh, we got a roller coming in. That's fun. Oh, wow. What a shot. See, the stun is pretty big there. Gotcha. Alright, so I want to kind of go back to where we started, which was that way. God dang it. Can you defend the drill?
Over here.
Doesn't look like we're getting blessed with very much nitro this time around, which kind of sucks, but hey, what can you do? Hey, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? I guess I'll pick up the gold. This guy may not have as much. He might actually want it. I feel like I don't remember what level it is, but maybe it's more in the 200s that you just kind of stop needing money. Once you get all the OCs, you pretty much just don't need it anymore, which is fine. He's got it. I don't even need to help him. I could jump off the edge.
Found some nitro. Rocket, we fight to the bone. Flares could need an upgrade. This is friggin' hell. Getting more ammo.
Oh, god dang it. We gotta rush. Where's Dory at? Just gonna throw it right there. No! It's probably pretty risky. Probably should just be helping the drill. Still another one hitting it, as you can hear. Pretty epic music for nothing happening. Get a slightly better position. Kidding me.
There is oil shale. Flares charging.
Dang it. God dang it, Bobby.
Body fix.
Okay, come here.
Whoever's talking
All canisters fueled. Drill dozer ready to make more progress.
rock and roll.
The drill dozer is en route to the Hearthstone. Expect
Alright, now that we're back from that freaking ridiculously long refueling, let's get on to the ending zone. We got 4 more Booloos to go. I mean, and that's about it. Alright, we're gonna do the old setup in a second. Let's get here.
drill dozer running at full capacity. You need to keep it clear of bugs. Also, we got an incoming swarm.
Rolling stone.
Force it to shoot everything in the butt. Go with the lure down there, it'll make it, it'll help the turrets because our range is low. I have a feeling there's some cave leeches around here. There's always some, seems like. Taking too long. You can shoot the spitballers like that. Nice.
Where'd you all these minerals go?
How close am I to the exit? Not that close. Alright, I'm gonna check this room for nitro real quick. Because I got nitro on my mind, you know, just always. There could be something up there. These escort missions, no, doesn't look like it actually. Escort missions do have hidden stuff fairly frequently, but not this time.
If you don't walk in stone,
Extraction commencing. Drill dozer running at full steam. Stay alert, team. The noise and vibrations are attracting the bugs.
I got it.
Keep the drill dozer operational at all costs.
Oh, Dory, I'm so sorry. What the fuck? We did it? It seemed like kind of barely, though. I think what I'm actually going to do is just have them focus on one side together. This one? Oh, okay. I think that one did hit because I think they do like base 20% damage for every rock that hits. So I had to have two of them on one side so that we can, as in turrets and I, can focus on one side of the Doretta, and he can focus on the other because he can mostly kill them by himself. He doesn't really need my help.
Contact. Swarm approaching the drill dozer. Hunker down and load up. Drill dozer's at the halfway point. Keep it running.
Attempting to create longer paths for them to walk. Give us more time to resupply and to prepare. So I gotta resupply my sentries. As a gunner, you really want to also shield the Doretta that's becoming overran like that. my mic isn't open because I'm not trying to talk shit or anything. This part is where it's very good to have a driller. But the gunner also works if he knows how to do that. You can shoot the tips of them and break them before they start shooting. Which in this scenario is a pretty big deal since we don't have a gunner, or a driller or a scout to make it go quicker. I think he's having a lot of trouble getting it. He got it. Shield the Doretta. I think we're going to get this one pretty easily since we still have 3 layers up. You want to aim at the straight bottom of that, obviously, because then you'll take 3 hits essentially to kill it. They got one side, yep. Start throwing lures everywhere to ensure that we win. There we go. That's the GG. Let's go. Well, everybody, I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned a little bit on how to play Engineer on HAZ-5. It's really a lot of the things you need to learn about HAZ-5 is you just need to keep it moving. You don't want to be standing still for too long. Stick with your team. And get Nitra. Nitra is the biggest thing ever. Another thing you need to make sure to do when you're playing HAZ-5s is to use your grenades, use your use your abilities, all that kind of stuff. I notice a lot of people don't do that. It's hard to remember. There's a lot going on in these games. Don't hit me! No! Okay. If anything hits you in the middle of your zip, you'll of course fall down. No! Oh shit. Run! Easy peasy. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. I got links in the description from a stream with me and my partner Dev. We play some HOTS. We play some Deep Rock, Valheim. We play a lot of different stuff. Hope you guys join us sometimes. Thanks for watching. Bye.